Good morning, campers. We're going to do a reading today. We're going to do how does your person feel about you in their head, in their heart, and in their intentions. I've done a similar reading for different collective yesterday. I mean, for me, it was the same day. For you, it was yesterday. And it's funny because I have two collectives, divine collectives, that are very young, right? That are in the beginning of the journey. And I've done this reading. I was guided to do this reading. So how your person feels about you, because in the beginning of the journey, it's very helpful to understand certain things and to do those kind of readings. And I recorded on my stories that I'm going to do the same thing for my other young collective, divine collective, tomorrow. And the moment I said it, I just got this urgency. Do it now, do it now, do it now. So I'm sitting down and I'm going to do it now. But it's making me feel that this collective, you would really have the need to know. So maybe you're very confused by your person's behavior. Maybe you're right now in a lot of longing and a lot of pain. And you're just, it's like you're pushing me to do this now. I want to know how they feel about me. So let's go. Let's do it. It's afternoon right now. So I'm probably going to post it tomorrow early in the morning still. But let's do it. As always, we're going to start from how do you feel about this connection and what's going on in this connection. So you know this is your reading, because you guys know that this is not quick 3-minute messages. Tarot lady, your person is coming, they love you, they want to apologize. This is the channel of truth. This is a channel of growth and of alignment. So we're not claiming single statements that I say. The whole reading has to resonate. So start from this part. And if it really resonates, how you feel about your connection now, we have longing at the bottom of the deck, sign, hunger. This is my longing card. You would be in longing. It means that it's not your reading. This part has to resonate. Okay, how do you feel about this connection, this collective? Two more. And then we're going to do some oracle cards to confirm. More. I'm thinking, because they're both orange, and I'm thinking I usually go towards chakras, but I was thinking that maybe you're seeing a lot of orange color, or maybe you like orange color. We're in fall season in Northern Hemisphere, so maybe you're looking at like orange leaves. Maybe you have like a tree in front of your house. It just came to my mind, like this autumnal colors. Another one. One more. One more. We're missing that longing. But I feel you are this collective mystery. Okay, so your first card is success. Then you have illumination. Then you have ideation. And then your last card is mystery. So I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing with these. This collective, you and your person, because we're doing the energy, how you feel about your connection. Right? I feel you right now would be in a place of belief that this can really work out, right? So maybe you actually know many things and truths about this journey. Maybe you are lucky enough that you came across a proper content, because I say this to you guys all the time. 90% of information about twin flames is complete bollocks, complete BS, complete nonsense rubbish, right? So much misconception. It comes from the fact that people don't really understand that they shouldn't be speaking about things that are not part of their life's mission, because they're following ego instead of following passions, right? So I feel like maybe you watch the proper content, the good content, the content of truth. So maybe you are in belief that this relationship, and we also have this illumination and ideation. Maybe you're receiving some downloads when it comes to your connection and about your connection. So, you know, the fact that we're in longing is a separate thing from my actual mindset, right? Sometimes we have belief, we go in and out in the beginning, but sometimes we have belief that this is going to work out. We're meant to be together. These connections are meant to come into fruition and come into union. But it doesn't change the fact that we want it now, because we are in this longing, right? We cannot accept the fact that it's a process. So I feel right now you would be, maybe you're searching for information about this connection as well, but I feel like certain things are being illuminated to you. So maybe your guides are giving you intuitive thoughts, are giving you intuitive information that you intuitively know, this is the person that I need to listen to. That person is rubbish, right? And maybe certain things, I'm also hearing that maybe certain things you see differently. Maybe there are certain things from months back or even a year back that you didn't understand properly, and now you're hearing them again and you're gaining like more. You would be learning on this journey, I feel. You would be learning, but we have mystery as well. So I feel like there's still a lot of things that you don't understand, or you are still a little bit in denial to accept, reluctant to accept. It's what I just said. So you may be finding out a lot of information. I say this to you guys all the time. There are certain things that we listen to them, and on some level we know that this is true, but when we're not in a place of our consciousness to be ready to really absorb them, it just goes in and out, right? So I feel this collective, you may still think that maybe it's going to happen sooner, maybe we're not going to need this separation, right? Like this faith. Haven't we been through it all? Like, we're different, we're going to do it, all right? Maybe he's going to return without that separation. That's what I'm hearing. But it's an okay energy, you know. There's no pain, you have a lot of curiosity. You need answers. This is probably why I felt this urgency to do this reading, because you would probably, the moment you would hear, maybe this is my collective, you probably want to watch it and you want to know it. How does this person feel about me, right? What's going to happen? But I feel like you would be in a place where they actually showing you. I want to do one more. I'm guided to do like 5. Passion. Maybe you are, I'm hearing passion ignited. Maybe it may be for your person. So maybe you have a lot of passion for your person. Maybe you're fantasizing recently, finding yourself fantasizing more, dreaming about your person, like those dreams that you wake up like sweating, right? Pain. We do have pain. Well, pain accompanies us on this journey until we reach inner union. So, but I was also hearing with this passion that it may be for other things. That maybe you're trying to tap into your passion. Maybe you know, or you've heard, or you've received some signs from either your shadow worker, your healer, or your guides themselves, that passion is a compass for our mission, for our growth, and you're trying to really tap into, what is it that I really like? What is it that but this is generally how you feel about your person. So yeah, let's clarify. What? All right. You know, this card and the creeping card are my 2 favorite cards in this deck. I feel this may be something that your person, you know, for a very long time, our masculines do that. They themselves wander around, sticking their fingers in different pies, but they have this ridiculous claim over us that they couldn't stand the thought of us being with someone else, and they go ahead and do it. So they're trying to energetically block that, and sometimes they succeed. All right. What do we have in here? Hold on. This one was the last one. Okay. We have unfazed and we have dusted off, right? These are 2 bit of a nonchalant, ignoring, right? I don't care that much. I don't feel you're in the energy of not caring, right? But I feel you're trying to push yourself, right? So maybe, remember we were saying that you are a little bit reluctant to accept that this journey is a journey and it's going to take some time, because you're longing, you wish it would come into fruition now. But I feel like you may be a bit of in an internal battle. Like part of you, your soul, understands that there's a lot of shadows, that there's a lot of work, that there's a long way to go, right? But part of you is in this longing. So part of you is in this hope. That's why also maybe you're seeking for answers, but it's a good thing. I always say to you guys, when I've done some stories about this yesterday, and we were chatting about this on my stories. I often chat with you guys about, you know, certain topics loosely on my stories. So if you truly are in a journey, I invite you to, you know, check on my stories as well. But I feel like you would be, and I always say this to you guys, right? Is sometimes you ask me, why some separation is like 3 years and 4 years and others are like 6 and 8, right? And I say this to you guys, it's very individual. There are many like factors to it, but how dedicated we are, us feminines, as spiritual guides and spiritual teachers on this journey for the both of us, it has a lot of impact on how long it's going to take, how dedicated you are to your daily exercises, to coming to your sessions with your healer, with your shadow worker, to work through the things that, and covering, you remember I always say this to you, and I've done a whole video about this recently, those 3 topics that we have to cover. You have to heal yourself, your soul, your shadows. You have to figure out your mission, and you have to heal your connection with your masculine, right? And oftentimes feminines forget about that third part. But I feel right now that you would be forcing yourself to just play it cool. It's like part of you is in pain and in longing, but I feel like part of you wants to understand that it's going to be a journey, and then it has to be a journey, which is why you may be trying to like shake it off, cool it off, right? And like it's going to take a while. Maybe you're even saying this to yourself, like, right? Play it cool. We have teddy bear, blooming romance, flirting, wanting to date, ideation. Maybe you are still in and out with your person. Maybe there is still an element of a bit of a, you know, excitement. And we have 2 more cards. This one I'm a little bit, I'll tell you what I'm hearing with this one. We have key on the ring, many options, and that's on top of that passion. What I'm hearing with this one is that your masculine, wouldn't be a surprise if you maybe watched yesterday's reading. It's what they do. It's their defense mechanism. But many masculines, because they insecure and they want to mask it, they seeking for attention and for validation, they oftentimes has this bravado Casanova behavior, trying to, you know, make sure that we know that they have so many options, and, you know, they're not the one for commitment, you know, because there's so many ladies around. And maybe, you know, maybe you are maybe your masculine has that sort of a behavior, that he likes to sort of let you know that there are other options in there. And what I was hearing, I'll show you this card, because what I was hearing with this card, to be honest, if you are intimate with your person, be careful. Right? I feel it can be both ways for this collective. I feel like some of you may be intimate with your person, and especially that we have this one night stand, unconventional, many options, Oftentimes our masculines, they are connecting to other women, right? When we are in and out. And sometimes we cannot really say that this is like betrayal and cheating, because in reality, we don't have relationships with them. We're one of the ladies, whether you want to accept it or not, right? And we agree to this because we are wounded, because we also have a 0 self-esteem. We're in pain, we're in longing, and we will literally accept any kind of breadcrumb, right? So I'm hearing 2 things with it. Those of you who are intimate with your masculine, maybe you recently have been intimate with your masculine, or, you know, you're like literally about to, but we're doing the current energy. So I feel like it would be, when this video finds you, it may be that you have been intimate with your masculine, and maybe you didn't feel that well afterwards, right? Maybe even you had some, you know, infections and some issues with, you know, with your yoni. But I've said this to you guys many times, and I often say this: we receive through our sacral, right? And we are natural healers, us women. Through intimacy, we heal. as well, right? And I explained this to you guys many times when I was explaining to you the natural properties of our womb. Our womb is a self-cleansing portal. Because our womb is a portal to the spirit realm, it's the only portal for which physical life can come to earth. And it's also portal of creation, of ideas, of everything. It's a place of our power. Place of our power for feminines. So it's a place of our power and also of vulnerability. We talked about this on my stories coincidentally yesterday. So because it's a portal and most women are not aware of that, we absorb energy through this portal, right? Because through this portal, we have access to the void, constant access to the void, access to higher realms, access to quantum field, access to Akashic records. So sometimes gunk gets in there, especially that for women, this is our place of receiving, right? Receiving energy and everything externally. So it has to have the self-cleansing quality. And this is what actually happens in our cycle when we are on our period. The more painful and long and difficult your period is, it's because there was something in there that you needed to cleanse. Maybe you were spending a lot of time with negative people. Maybe you went to a certain place that was low vibrational. Maybe through, your dreams and connection to the void, something got in there. You cleanse it, right? You cleanse it as you're on your period. This is why we shouldn't be having any kind of intimacy when we're on our period. Maybe there's a reason I'm saying this. This is why period blood is so powerful, right? I don't ever talk about this it's something that I can explore with some of you on my sessions, but I would never talk about this here because people can take things and use them for charlatan kind of things. But it cleanses itself. It releases this energy, right? This is why after a period, we enter this phase of really like openness and we feel better, we feel refreshed, we feel like a release. It's a great time for yoni steams and so on and so forth. When we are in a relationship, because men don't have that self-cleansing portal and they also don't manage energy as well as we naturally do, we do it for them. So through intimacy, they give us their energy because they give through our sacral, we receive through our sacral. We give through our hearts, they receive through their hearts, right? And it's a circuit. So they give us life force energy, especially if you're in divine union and you're both healed. They give you life force energy through that portal. You transmute it to love and you give it back for your heart. But even in divine union, naturally, they also operate in the physical world. They also, have certain things. They meet certain people. They go to certain places. They can accumulate some negative energy. And we take that energy because we have the capacity to cleanse it. You may not even consciously feel it. It's going to be out there around your womb. And as you're on your period, you're just going to release it, right? We're so magical, us women. So in a relationship, in a divine union, we do that for men, right? This is why them, after intimacy, consciously and subconsciously, they feel such a release. For them, it's like a release for energetic reason as well, right? For us, it's more of that feeling of receiving, right? Receiving passion, receiving love. For them, it's the release. So when you are intimate, especially in these connections that are so powerful and we're so connected and we're so powerful as feminines, in these connections, when you are intimate with your masculine, when you're not yet in union, but you're in and out, right? Sometimes because he does connect to other women, because he goes to places that are low vibrational. I say this to you guys all the time. Every person we're intimate with, we absorb their energy. We absorb their trauma. We store our trauma in our sacral. So if he's intimate with you, and in the meantime, he's intimate with other women, or he's been intimate with other women, even if it wasn't like yesterday, but any kind of ex-karmic that he didn't properly cleanse his sacral, he didn't properly release the cords, he's going to pass all that energy to you. So sometimes it happens that when you're intimate in and out, when you're both still wounded, he leaves with this release, feeling like the man, feeling so amazing because we freaking heal him, and we feel like we're about to leave this physical world, right? Sometimes you can have depression, infections, even get sick, nausea, feel very, very bad, emotionally heavy, right? Because if he has a lot of heaviness and you are not yet in your place of light, so you don't consciously or subconsciously, your body doesn't know how to handle it. You just get literally sick all over the place, right? There's a reason I deviated to such a long deviation, but there's a reason. So just be careful, because I was hearing that for a reason. That it may be that you're not conscious of that, and maybe you have been intimate, or if you're not intimate with your masculine, I would say maybe you got some sort of an infection for another reason. But even if you're a little bit, if you're not full on intimate, but you're just, like kissing, you're doing stuff, you can still absorb his energy that can influence. So there's a reason it was coming to my mind. Let's do another row. I'm going to clarify, maybe we'll have more information because I was rambling for a long time. We have the runner. So we would have a runner, but I feel like you're trying to be unbothered. So maybe you actually, remember what we said in the beginning, this collective may have understanding why he's running. So maybe you actually are connecting to a mentor, or you're learning from proper sources about this connection, and you understand that this is a trauma response, that this is a avoidance attachment style, that this is wounding, that it has nothing to do with you, with your connection. It doesn't change the fact that it's nasty and it's painful and it shouldn't be accepted. But I feel like you're trying to approach this with like understanding and compassion. Let's see what's the clarification. We have passion. The golden mirror, one-sided, self-absorbed. You guys, backstabbing at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this collective, you may have some sort of intimacy, or recently, or about to. There's a reason it's coming through with that passion, and we had that passion. I feel there's a lot of passion within you for your masculine. So maybe even you fished for it. You asked for it, right? Sometimes, we don't understand that, but in these connections, when we are in and out, we are weaker than our masculines. They actually have more strength within them to say no to us. We are very much, sometimes we literally ask for it because we're in such pain. We already remember who we are for each other, right? But there's part of us that knows it's so toxic. It's not going to happen now. What the hell is going on? And when we are without them, it's like we feel physical pain. You have pain at the bottom of your deck. It's like we feel physical pain. Sometimes it's like we need it. We crave it. We ask for it. But it's one-sided at this point. And I said this to you guys. Remember, there's a reason you needed to learn about the circuit that I said to you and that cleanse, right? Because when you are in a divine union, in a healthy relationship with your man, you cleanse this energy for him, but it's okay because what he gives to you in intimacy, it's also that life force energy. He's your protector, right? He gives you that masculine sun life force energy into you for you to transmute it, multiply it, and give it back as that moon loving, caring energy into his heart. That's how the circuit works. But right now you're not in divine union. So he's giving you squat. All he's giving you is the trauma and the cords and the energies of his past partner that he never cleansed out. That's why you don't feel that well and that good. And there's a reason we have this illumination. So maybe this collective, you didn't know about these things. Maybe you needed to be a little bit more educated about these things. If you also come to me on actual sessions, let me know on our next sessions. We can go through this because there's certain things that I don't want to mention in collectives, and this is important. I don't think that, in the beginning of this journey, you're not yet that awakened. There's so many things that you need to learn about yourself, about spirituality, about this connection. You don't understand how powerful you are. You don't understand how to use your power and how to really protect yourself from different things. So as it's happening, you may not be understanding. Why am I feeling so bad? What's wrong with me? And sometimes it can be really, you guys, it can be really, really, it can go really bad. I'm also thinking with that, maybe your person appeared at your door And it was so, like, it felt so good. It felt so serendipitous. It felt so passionate. So maybe you went for it, you know? Maybe it just happened. Maybe you were fishing for it and asking for it a little bit. But then I feel like... Interesting. Interesting how this reading is developing. Into you. Good chemistry, great vibes. Look at this. Look at this card. I feel there's something. So I know we said that this collective, you are in and out, but I feel at this moment, as you're going to be watching this reading, you are in. I feel you had contact with your person. I feel you have been intimate with your person. Some level of intimacy must have happened. Because there's a lot of passion, but again, I feel like you needed to understand. Maybe right now you're not feeling so good and you're not understanding why, or it's going to come to you in a few days. So it's sort of a preparation. But I feel right now, I'm feeling that you would be happy that it happened, that you would be, you know, codependency, addiction. And that's on top of that dusted off. I feel you're not fully in awareness. This again, you're very wise. If at this point this collective resonated, you're trying to find proper information. You're trying to find about this journey. You're very aware about certain things, right? So you wouldn't be at this stage where you completely don't know what's going on. But I feel like you're trying to ignore the codependency. I feel you're trying to ignore, to say this to yourself straight on. I'm codependent on this man. I don't feel you maybe fully understand why. Threatening, and that's on top of that key on the ring. Fake accounts. Maybe your person's creating, I feel like this may be more you, this collective. Maybe you have some, don't do that. I feel like you would feel threatened, to be honest. I feel like you would feel, maybe there's jealousy. I feel like you would know that, or your person straight on, they're letting you know that they're connecting to, or maybe they even are, you know, seeing someone, but I feel like they would be letting you know that they're connecting to other women. I don't know why I'm hearing multiple women. So maybe it's not necessarily true, but they making it seem like it, right? To make you feel threatened. They're fishing for attention. And you would maybe feel threatened. Maybe that's why you were seeking that intimacy, because you thought that it would sort of prove to you that you're so good together, that, you know, you have this thing going on, that you have this passion, that it's like, it doesn't feel the same way with any other woman, which is true. He's going to feel, after intimacy with us, they feel like they're on top of the world. Why? I just explained this to you. Because we cleanse their energy. We take away momentarily. It's going to return. We don't have that power to take all the pain away from them. But whatever pain, whatever darkness, whatever gunk they have accumulated, we momentarily take it away. And then we have to deal with it. Our bodies are smart. Our bodies know that we have the capacity. But when you as a feminine, you're very wounded and you don't understand that, right? You don't understand your body and you don't listen to your body. You listen to your longing right now. In a true divine relationship, we have to both be very connected, not to our own bodies, but to each other's bodies as well. It keeps coming back to me, the intimacy when you're on your period. So maybe it's something that you need to, let me know if that's something that you need more info on, especially if you're a client. We can talk about this, but it's a no. It's a huge no. It's a huge no. Energetically, no. All right, if that resonated, my sweet angels, let's go for it. And let's do, how does he feel about you? How does he feel about you? I had one more deck that I used yesterday. I'm going to grab it. How does he feel about you? We're going to start from, no, not this one. Why is this one keep coming up? Sorry. we're gonna do, maybe I need to use it in the next reading. We're gonna do, how does he feel about you? Let me start from his head. Okay, and then we're gonna do his heart. How does he feel about you in his head? His collective. The masculine.